Hello everybody, it's Tiffany here, and today I want to share how I am going through the Word Nerd 2022 Bible Journaling Kit in addition with the brand new Better Together release that just released on Tuesday. All of that is on sale through the end of today for 20% off. Before I get started, I wanted to show you what this looks like, my little BibleDex here, and how I plan to work through it. So each card has its own additional card with some things that I'm journaling inside. I'll journal on the outside, sometimes I'll journal on the back, but this one was Carrie sharing a little bit about herself, and then I also shared my favorite things right there. Super cute. And then on this one, the before you start, I love to begin every study with a prayer for myself and over our community. So I have that there, and you can spy some of the latest from the Print and Pray shop. And then for week one, there are 4 cards, and Carrie intends us to do 1 card per day. So I am just going to show you how I'm incorporating the latest Better Together release into my study and into these cards. On card number 1 for week 1, Carrie is giving us a synopsis of the book of Philippians and a little bit about our scripture and word guard. And so I'm using this amazing annotated stamp set to just highlight around the words and the phrases that are significant to me. And I want to unpack the scripture before Carrie shares her insights. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and put a piece of pattern paper down first. This is from Taylor's set. And I'm going to use the study notes stamp set from last year to stamp various things that are important for me to get down in journaling before we actually start the study with Carrie. So I have the author, theme, observations, context, and summary. I love doing this before my mind is impressionable. And I love a good pun, so because we're going to unpack this, I had to use Tamara's backpack from her latest Better Together set, and I'm creating a tip down with washi tape. So what I'm going to do is finish up this cute cluster with the floral and the patch, and then I'm going to create a tip down with a little bit of washi tape. So this is something that you can do. You can have a tip in that opens up and also a tip down that reveals the text underneath. It's so fun. So one of the takeaways that just floored me was that Paul wrote this while imprisoned. So talk about encouragement. On to card number 2. You can see that I'm keeping in step with this theme of using the pattern paper, and this one's super colorful. That's what I love about the Print and Pray shop, is that you can pull in color, and this kit is very neutral and earthy. So if you want to pull in some color, Kelly Bang's latest Project Grateful release, it'll do just the trick. So I have this fun pattern in the background, and I'm using one of the pages from the notepad, as well as Tamara's Word Nerd flashcards. I just love the set and the design, the colors, everything of this flashcard. And I'm going to adhere it on top. And then one of my favorite things to do is to layer tags. So I have this tag with our scripture, Philippians 4:7. This is from Jill's Word Nerd Toolkit, and I'm going to layer it on top of one of the tags from the physical kit. You can also get this in the digitals. And then I'm going to use some yarn that Shauna Noel included with my packaging. They always do such a beautiful job with packaging up our our kits, and I just love this yarn. So I'm going to go ahead and string it through the top of the tag and staple it. It's just so easy. It's much easier than trying to tie a perfect bow. And this is going to be a static tag, so no tip down, because I want to focus on the word guard, which I'm going to use from the ephemera from the kit. And I'm also going to bring in some of the florals and leafy thingies so that it's just a little bit more cohesive, because I know I have a lot going on with the colors and the layers. And I'm going to go back to the annotated stamp set and just add one of those fun loop-de-loo stamps, bringing attention to the verse there on the tag. I just love this stamp set. I can see myself using it time and time again. I'm also going to incorporate one of these pencils from the ephemera in the kit. I just love these pencils. They're so fun, so beautiful, and I just love the texture. So I'm going to go ahead and add that onto the kit, and then add some washi. And if you guys aren't using your washi, that stuff is so versatile. Not only can you use it as an accent, but I'm going to show you real quick, you can actually create a ruffle. So if you love fabric ruffles, you can do that with washi too. It's too quick, too easy. It takes a little bit of practice, but I'm telling you, it's so fun. And the washi tape is actually something that you can use to measure things with, which is super cool. So there's card number 2. Just love it. So for my card number 3, here's keeping in that theme of adding the pattern paper. This again is from Taylor's set, and I'm going to add a cluster with one of Tamara's pencils and then ephemera from Taylor's set. I just love that stack of books there, and I love this girl and the idea of her holding the Bible, so I'm going to position that one a little bit further up in the cluster, and then I'm going to add the book in front of her, so like she's reading the Bible. And I'm going to add that held firmly to the truth and a little bit of washi just to tie it all in and ground it. Using one of the stamps from the annotated stamp set, I'm just going to fill in some of that empty space. That's why I love stamps. They're just so versatile, and use some generational stamping. And for one of the reflections, I love the juxtaposition of how Paul is most likely being guarded in prison by a prison guard, and how he's using the word guard as something that's positive. You know, how God guards our hearts, how by faith we have access to that protection and our intercessor. And on this page, I am just reflecting on what that means, what it tells me about Jesus, and how I'm going to apply that to my life. And God sees and knows all things. He intercedes on our behalf. He's always working everything out for His good, for His glory. And He's got this. He's got me. He's got you, even this and even now. Now for my last card. Again, you can see I'm going to create the tip-in with some pattern paper. I ran out of the big 5x5 squares, so I'm going to create my own dual pattern paper just using some of the scraps. That's a fun little tidbit there for you. And I'm going to lay down that background, and I'm going to create a fun cluster using a scrap from that notepad paper that I tore off in the previous card. And then I'm going to use Elaine's library card, the Word Nerd library cards. I just love those. And just kind of pair them together in a fun way, almost like that notepad paper is like a little tabby peeking out from underneath. And I'm going to have the main focus of this on the girl at the podium. I am so in love with this graphic because I've been in public speaking for as long as I can remember, maybe 5th grade, and I can just relate. And I love her pencil dress. It's just too cute. Let's make that like a real thing, Taylor. And just to bring it all together and tie in elements from the kit, I have some of the ephemera from the kit that I'm just auditioning here and there. Just trying to tie everything together so that it's easier on the eyes. And of course, my go-to is the washi tape. This one wasn't from this kit, but from a prior kit in 2021, and I just love the fall colors of this. And so I'm going to bring this washi tape in to ground my layers together. And now for my biggest takeaway, and I know I've already alluded to this, but I'm going to use my wooden stamps to just stamp out God's got this. And I think that's so important to keep in mind. Paul was writing as an example. He had the peace of Christ even in prison, and he was speaking to the church of Philippi when they were experiencing some issues within Paul's ministry and issues within the church of Philippi, and he just wanted to remind them and encourage them that, like, hey, God's got me, God's got you, He's got the church, God's got this, even this. And last but not least, I'm going to use a little God wink stamp from Elaine's stamp set that's included in the add-ons. Just think it's just the perfect touch. So here's the finished product for week 1. I hope you enjoyed watching this process. Good news is that I will be doing a YouTube once a month, and so will our new creative team member, Gina, who you know and love. So you can look forward to more YouTubes. I know how much everybody missed the YouTubes. I know I did. I've so missed having Jill's sweet, sweet voice greet me on those Monday mornings. So we are just so excited to be jumping back into YouTube. Anyways, if you liked any of those products, please feel free to look in the description below. It's got links and all of the names of everything that I used, and we can't wait to see what you're making for Word Nerd. Thanks for watching. Bye.